Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Kerrigan.
Finally, without any glitches today. That was good. Welcome everybody to Witchtalk. This is Kerrigan, and we are here now without glitches, which is very, very good. We don't have any problems whatsoever. Now, I want to tell you, first of all, I'm very, very sorry about not only the quality of sound of the last show, but also, you know, the quality of everything else, because it was very, very bad. You know, I know that there were a lot of things that we didn't really do, or you know, or didn't took care of. But I think that now we are really on track, because it was not really something that it was not just us. It was something that was a glitch on the software that we used to broadcast the show, and they reported actually a glitch into their own software. So it was really, really hard for us. And I you know, it's how amazing it was that we even had a show on air. Was really something that, you know, was very, very interesting. So that's that. I want to show you our website again, because I think that you should see our website every single time. Website of Witchtalk, which is www.witchtalkshow.com. And you can go to the Ustream channel, you can go to the podcast, the iTunes, the Witch Reads, where actually Indigo Estrella is putting all the texts about the Witch Reads in a text format, which is wonderful. You can actually rate it. You can put comments on it also. So if you go on one of them, you can actually go there, and after you read it, you can just say, you know, you liked the post. You can comment on it if you want to. So don't forget to do that also, because it's a very good thing to have a feedback on the show. Now, another thing that I would like you to see is our iTunes. This is also a podcast, so you can always go to iTunes and subscribe to us. Don't forget to go on Podcast Alley to vote for us, and to be a fan of Witchtalk on Facebook, which is a wonderful page. Here we are, Facebook. You can like it if you want to, and we will always announce the, you know, the future episodes and everything, so it's very, very good. Sometimes I don't put, you know, there's this kind of question from Gary Plunkett. He said, is this, you know, what is the time zone here? Well, Facebook doesn't really sometimes gives us the time zone to choose from, so it will always be Eastern Standard Time, because that's where I am. But I know that some people have a hard time, but it's approximately 9 p.m. In Europe, so it will be Europe, you know, Portugal, England, and all of that, so, and all of the other fantastic countries. So that's that. And but let me just tell you, it's better to tell everything on the video. Here we go, on contacts, how to contact us. So, you want to know how to keep in touch with everything Witchtalk? Go to www.witchtalkshow.com and follow all the latest news. Listen directly to the show and enjoy it. If you're on the move, take Witchtalk with you by subscribing to our Witchtalk podcast on iTunes, or by following us on Podomatic Witchtalk site by going to witchtalk.podomatic.com. Don't forget to join us on Ustream Crowd. Go to www.ustream.tv/channel/witchtalk-show. Miss the show? Don't worry. Every show will be recorded and available for you to watch or listen both in Ustream and Podomatic. Witchtalk will air every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or approximately 9 p.m. in most Europe. Now, live in video, watch us on Ustream. Follow us on Twitter at Carrigan, K-H-A-R-A-G-A-N, with an H after the K, or send us an email at witchtalkshow@gmail.com. Now back to the show. And back to the show it is. Here we are again. One more show. This show is very special because I have a guest that was already here on Blog Talk Radio. Now we are in Ustream on video, and it's an amazing guest. We have videos to show. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm sure we'll have a wonderful time. Now, before we go there, let's just see what Indigo Estrella has to tell us about this fantastic, or not so fantastic, book that she brings today. Here we go.
Witches talk about which books witches read. With Indigo Estrella. Which reads.
Hello, Indigo. How are you?
Hello, Kerrigan. I'm great. How are you? We finally have a smooth-going show again.
I know.
Really
It's
back to normal.
I know, back to normal again. I heard that someone said that it was painful to watch or something like that.
It was frustrating to watch and listen to.
Oh, really? Well, it was frustrating to do.
Well, especially for your end, because
Yes,
you were
yeah.
trying to deal with all the technical issues. You're the one that operates everything that you can see
I
on
know.
video.
I
So,
know. I know.
you know, you were dealing with it before we were even on, or supposed to be on air. So you were dealing with it for about, what, 2.5, 3 hours?
3 hours of
Yeah.
anguish. 3 hours of anguish, and
So it's
yeah.
incredible that we were actually able to have a show air at all last week.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
but
sorry
people-
for those who feel like it was frustrating to listen to, but you know, we got a show on air, so you know, really.
I find it
you
very
deserve
interesting.
much
Why would it be frustrating to watch? Just stop watching. Don't watch. You won't be frustrated anymore. You know what I mean?
It
Why?
was an interesting show last week. I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, I know, but you know, it's just kind of very, you know, people don't have any idea what I have to do in my
You do
own.
a lot over on your end.
People don't
really
know. People
There's
don't
a lot
know.
going on over there.
People don't know. They don't have a clue on how this is done. And sometimes, you know, it's very frustrating because things don't really work the way you want it to. But here we are. So, which reads?
Yes.
Which is the read today?
Well, I really got a lucky book that was sent to me. This is The Witch's Heart by Christopher Penczak.
Oh.
And I actually got the uncorrected proof from Llewellyn because this book isn't scheduled to be released for at least another month.
Oh, okay.
And I think a little bit even later for the United Kingdom. I think they have a little bit later release date for this book. So I have the publisher's copy. So I'm very lucky to have it. So I dug into it immediately, almost as soon as I got it.
Yes.
And
yeah.
you know, it's a pretty good book.
The cover is very beautiful. I like
It's
the
gorgeous.
cover. Yeah.
It's the third in a series. The first one was The Witch's Shield, which is all about protection magic. The second one was The Witch's Coin, which is about prosperity magic. And this third one is The Witch's Heart, which is about love spells. And you know, it's good. It's kind of all encompassing. It goes from everything from love to lust, and you know, all the different variants in between. And Christopher is a part of a triad, so he includes the polyamorous and other alternative relationships as well. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah, so it's good that he includes those that typically don't get recognized by a lot of love spell books and the like. So it's really good. It's not great though.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. It's kind of dogmatic at times for me.
Really?
Yes.
So
especially
what's going on? Tell us everything. We want to know.
Well, you know, he's a neo-pagan, and there's there's kind of the ethics question that always seems to come up for me in a lot of the neo-pagan books, that it kind of, it's almost like imposing their beliefs through the book. For example, in the ethics of love, lust, and romance magic, now this is a separate chapter, he describes that witchcraft originated and was practiced by poor and misfortunate people. He says that manipulative love spells, manipulative love magic, was, it's selfish, and he says, I'm going to directly quote here, people living in a harsh world with less time to ponder ethics, magic was a practical problem-solving tradition. And on the next page, he says that that they do not have the luxury of contemplating the grander ethical questions as basic life needs are not being met. Now, I know a lot of people who do quote-unquote manipulative love spells and sex spells that definitely can ponder the grander questions of ethics. And, he specifically says that, voodoo, that it was a slave culture, and that, these people, they were downtrodden, and so they don't have to worry about those ethics questions because they don't have the time. Even still now, they don't have the time to ponder on those grander things. Now, that kind of got me a little bit mad. I'm gonna
I can.
Which is poor, first of all. Yeah. And modern practitioners now. There's even some in the United States. There's a good majority living in the United States that practice voodoo and hoodoo, and they do spells that are not necessarily accepted by the Wiccan Reed.
Well, the thing is that I think that people sometimes get a little bit caught up in their own, universe, and sometimes, saying things like this is a little bit dangerous because, then you have like a multitude of other traditions and other practices that are not in any way connected with this, and then you have a problem, because now we are, what are you saying, that all the witches are poor? What are you saying, that all the magic in the world since ancient times were practiced by people that were ignorant and poor and miserable?
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, he implies that they are ignorant, but he implies also, well, he says that, especially the traditional witches of England and other places, they didn't have the basic life needs being met, so they didn't have the time to ponder ethics. Well, that's kind of generalizing too much for me.
But you know what? But this is life. You know what I mean? And life needs, even today, we need the same thing that we wanted. I don't know, 1,000 years ago. It's the same thing. It's love. It's food. It's shelter. It's the I have a friend. The woman from New York. She lives in New York, Martha, and she is a traditional witch from a traditional family. She's really actually an hereditary, witch. She's a practitioner of many things, but one of them is Santeria. And she says, my grandmother told me this, that all of us needs these things. Men and women always had these things that they needed, and it was now and it was before, so it's kind of like is not going to change because it's the same thing. So saying that it was, we didn't have any ethics, well, there are people actually today in very specific traditions that they don't go by the witch's reed. I know even Wiccans that don't go by the witch's reed, which is a very specific thing for a very specific. It was created within a very specific tradition, and people don't really understand that. Sometimes they really, and this is what I don't like. Also, is when people just assume that everybody else is the same thing as theirs. You know what I mean? It's just kind of not really my.
Not to be too vindictive, but it seems like there's a great majority of neo-pagans that take this Wiccan read and kind of apply a Christian fervor similar to, the commandments. It's
true.
The Wiccan commandments,
it's
right?
True. It's true. So, we need something.
But in Christopher's defense, he does explain that that's why he wrote A Witch's Heart, because the basic life needs include protection, which is the witch's shield.
It's true.
Prosperity, money, which is the witch's coin, and then the witch's heart, which is love.
Yes, it's true.
So in his defense, he does acknowledge that that's a basic life need, which is, I think, why he wrote the book, because it doesn't violate his own ethics by doing love spells, but the more manipulative love spells by, for example, taking a man out of a relationship to be with me, that's more manipulative, and I guess it would border on, harming someone.
But magic is manipulative. Magic is manipulating something, always. There's always something being manipulated. Now, we can think that that thing that it's being manipulated, it's not really ethically, correct, according to the rules, whatever the rules are. But it was always like this. People killed and poisoned people to get the loved ones that they wanted in the past. Obviously, we're not going to do that today. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to agree with it. But but that was something that, if I want him, I want him. I don't care if I have to kill his wife. And sometimes people do that still today in Europe, Indigo. They do this. This is a common practice. Obviously not connected with the witchcraft that we know. It's not certainly a pagan practice, but it is witchcraft. It's not pagan witchcraft, but it is witchcraft. And they still do it. They still do it, and they still get it. You know what I mean? They still get the men and women and all of that stuff. So this is something that, obviously we have to be a little bit more conscientious about, and we have a little bit more a responsibility, in touching things like this. So we wanted to, make ourselves a little bit more attractive instead of like grasping somebody, from, or binding someone to us. But this is us. It's a totally personal, thing. Raw witchcraft doesn't work that way.
No, not at all.
So
raw witchcraft is it's less harm none and more, law of the land.
Yeah.
Fight or flight. Yeah. If you're gonna, if you want it, get it.
Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely.
So this book, it's good. It's got, like I said, it covers all the basics. It includes astrology, herbs, many different herbs for many different purposes. It includes lust spells. It's got a lot of different. It's got runes. It's got everything that you could want for like a left or right hand path.
So it's a safe book. Is that what you mean?
It's a safe book.
It's a safe book.
It's a very safe book. It's not the way that I rate my books when I get them on Witch Reads is how I would describe them to other people. Yeah. Is how I would put the different cauldron readings. Now, when I describe this book, it's a good book. It's not the book that I'm going to reach for in a library if I need to, quick reference or do some sort of love spell. And for many reasons, including the dogma, it gets to me just because I don't necessarily practice that kind of magic where I am, manipulative or, I'm not left hand, but I don't disagree with it. And I think that it should be included if you need to use it. It's up to the reader. It's up to the practitioner if that's what they want.
Oh, I'm left and right hand. I hope that I keep my two hands. I mean, I don't want to like chop one of them. No. I have the two hands.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I have never done a left hand spell, but if I needed to, I would like to have that available.
Of course. Why not?
So, authors feel like that's their responsibility.
No, of course it is, because they're educators, they're, all of that. Right. So it's well done, Christopher. Christopher, by the way, is one of the most intelligent witches that I know.
He seems very intelligent in his writing,
he's amazing.
He's got a very good grasp of energy. Amazing. He describes it a lot. I know that he's written the magic of Reiki in the past. So
he's a master Reiki. He's a master Reiki master. He's just the most amazing, fun individual to be around and magical. So it's just an amazing thing. It's really, really good.
You had him on the show before.
Yeah, I did.
You were talking in the closet.
He's my friend. Yes, yeah, exactly. And he's fantastic. We have to have him again because he's very, very good.
He's very busy on promotions for this book.
Oh, of course he is. He's always busy. He's always busy. So, how many cauldrons do we have today?
I'm going to say 3.5 cauldrons.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Which is good. It's something I recommend it for someone that...
Do not get below 2 cauldrons with indigo. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. I seem like I have much more to talk about if it's something that's really bad. If it's a good book, I don't really have anything to add to it. But if it's below 2, then
Yeah. And people have to know. People have to know that this is your own opinion. So this is not really something that would be a dictatorship on the quality of books.
It's
so, but
my opinion
it's
on the book.
your it's your impression. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just my view, and it's not the be all end all. It's just one person's.
Absolutely. Thing. On Witchtalk. So
I recommend, if you see it, or you probably will see it in the bookstore, especially in the major chain stores, you will see it on the bookshelf. So I recommend picking it up, thumbing through it. If you like it, get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's 3.5 cauldrons.
It's very beautiful book. So thank you so much, Indigo. This is wonderful. Thank you for this wonderful Witch Reads review. And next week we will have more Witch Reads, right? Yes. And so I guess that I'll see you next week, right?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. And that was Witch Reads with Christopher Spanzak, Witch's Heart. The Witch's Heart, which is a book from Christopher, The Magic of Perfect Love and Perfect Trust. And this is a book that will be on the shelves very soon. I guess that I have to see this because I'm not sure who is I think that the publisher is, who's the publisher here? Llewellyn. This is Llewellyn, because I'm just asking this because and I'm kind of doing make sure that this is really what we should be looking for. Llewellyn Publications, because Christopher has his own publishing company, so that's why it's a Copper Cauldron. It's very good. Look for that also because he has books in that publisher also. So it's his own publisher. Copper Cauldron. So wonderful to have Indigo with this fantastic thing, this fantastic review. Now we can just go ahead and introduce our guest, I guess, because it's a fantastic guest today. Here we go. Emily Carding is a self-taught artist, author, priestess, lyricist, actor, singer, and mother. Her inspiration comes from the vibrant mythology of all creatures and the reality of magic and the otherworld. It is for this reason that she considers herself not a fantasy artist, but a visionary artist, for her art is sourced from the truth and beauty in the inner realms. Her art has appeared on book covers and magazines from Avalonia Books. Both feature articles and artwork by Emily, including the covers. Continuing her work with Avalonia, she has contributed 2 articles and cover art for the anthology Verses from Avalonia Books. Emily is becoming most well known for her tarot works, having now created 3 tarot decks and an oracle deck. These include the groundbreaking Transparent Tarot and the visionary Tarot of the Sidhe. Coming in 2011 from Tarot Media Company is her Major's only tarot, based on the country of Montenegro, Tarot of the Black Mountain. Recently released is the Transparent Oracle, also for Schiffer Books, a circular transparent deck inspired by the 7 directions and the intricate interconnectivity of the universe and the otherworld. It is designed to form mandala-type images when read in layers. Emily is currently working in the FAERY CRAFT, due out in 2011 from Llewellyn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest today, Emily Harding. Hello, Emily. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not so bad.
Oh, that's good.
Lovely to be on here with you again.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you like the new format?
It's so pretty.
I know. Everything is like, move and stuff. So, and the sound is better actually. So we'll have the pleasure to listen to your lovely voice in a stereo mode now. So it's better. It's better. So what have you been doing since we last talked?
Well, today I've been sat in the sun a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Since we last spoke, well, that was when the Transparent Tarot was just out, was it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Wow. So since then, there's been the Transparent Oracle.
Yes.
And there's been Tarot of the She.
Yes.
There's been various anthologies, various other little bits and bobs of things. Painted some banners for a film. Which I just went to see the other week, which was great, and all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, you did actually. Was it Captain Hook? What was it that you did?
Yeah, oh my God, that village pantomime. Okay, that was not like any.
What was it? What was it? We want to know.
It was I live in a little village in Cornwall,
yes.
And I got roped into doing, because I used to be an actor, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do the panto. I had no idea exactly what I was getting myself in for, because I've never done Amdram before. I've never done amateur dramatics before. And it was this little village, all the 85-year-old people from the village getting around, and they do a panto every year. And it was the weirdest thing. It was Cinderella, but Captain Hook, who I was playing, was like the main character in it. It was just the weirdest thing. It's just sitcom material waiting to happen. That's got to be like the next thing I do after the thing I'm working on at the moment. I really need to go away and write a sitcom about adventure.
That's amazing. It's a very interesting, because I saw your photographs on the Captain Hook in the internet, and I was like, where is it? What is this? What is it doing? She's doing she's doing kind of a. Do you have photographs of that in here? I think you do. What was it? Sir Lamphelt UK premiere 2000. What is that?
Sir Lamphelt is what I painted the banners for.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a far more professional piece of work.
It's beautiful. I mean, people don't really know the banners, the two banners, right? The sword and the This is the banners that Emily actually painted, and it's so amazing. They're so fantastic. I love it. And do they keep them, or did you keep them?
I've just now got them back. That photo that you've just shown there. That's from the other day when Elizabeth Jane Baldry, who produces and directs and writes the music, she's generally just a genius.
Yeah.
She came round for tea, and she brought the banners back, because now the film's done and it's been shown and everything, and they are not going to use them again because they were quite specific for that one project. So I've got them back. Do you know, I wasn't expecting to get them back. I just did it for them and presumed that they would keep them, so I'm delighted. They're still hanging.
That's so beautiful.
In my house, where you can see them now.
It's beautiful. It's just amazing. And you have a beautiful house. Look at that red. It's amazing. I love it. Is this your house, right? This is your house.
Yeah, that's my house.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's that. But I want to show the other ones. I want to show the photographs that you have on the Captain Hook. I don't know, where is that? I just love it.
God, I do. I have so many photos on there that good luck finding those. I don't know where to tell you that. But certainly in my profile pictures you'll find them.
Oh, here we are. Emily Carding in her wonderful role as Captain Hook. Here we go. It was wonderful. It's wonderful.
I was more than a little Johnny Depp-esque. I completely milked it. And you know, I had so much fun. The rehearsals were diabolical. And the number of times during rehearsals that I was like, I'm never, ever, 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 ever doing this again. And the performances were so much fun. And it was an absolute riot. And everybody did really well.
Who directed
it? And then
it?
Weeks and weeks afterwards, people were coming up to me on the street saying how much they enjoyed it.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful to be recognized in your own village. That's the lady that it's crazy and you know, dressed like a man and nobody loved it, so that's good.
But you know what? Now they just don't bat an eyelid. Whatever I do, they don't bat an eyelid. It's like, oh yeah, she's walking down the street with blue hair and belly dance gear on. Okay, it's all right.
I love it. No, you know that I just saw Rent, the musical.
Oh my god, I love that
in
show.
Salem. In here, with in Salem University, they have a department, fantastic department of theater, and they just released. There was the premiere was last week on Friday, and it's just amazing. Beautiful voices, beautiful sets, beautiful direction by David George. He's a fantastic director and a teacher of the school, and amazing talent. So you know Rent, so it's really. Really good. So that's that. Now let's look at your Tarot of the Sheik, because I know it's a beautiful tarot deck. Here we go. This is the tarot deck. But I have better pictures of this, because I actually went through your I went to your website and I get
I went to your house and I went through your things.
Yes, and I found this. So this is some of the pictures here of the tarot that you just did. It's amazing. Where was where was where was the inspiration for this tarot?
Oh, okay. So some of those paintings that are coming up are not from the tarot.
Well, I know, but
it's all,
I can't stop it.
The inspiration from the Tarot of the She very much came from the She themselves. This was actually the first deck that I painted quite a long time ago, before the transparent tarot anyway. And I was on a Celtic shamanism course with John Matthews, the quite well-known author, written a lot on Arthurian folklore, mythology, and stuff, and his wife, Caitlin Matthews. John Matthews teaches the foundation course, and he'd also written this book called The She Wisdom of the Celtic Otherworld.
Yes.
Published by Lauren.
Look, there's Sarita Dieste and David Rankin on this one. You have a little lag, but you know, you will know. This is the back of your tarot. Let me just say that, because it's the back of the tarot of the She's. It's like this. It's a little.
It's the slideshow from my website. That's what it is.
Yes. I'm taking that out of.
Right, so that's the great glyph of the She, that spiral image that a lot of people say, I love the labyrinth, or isn't that a Reiki symbol? That is the great glyph of the She, and that is what John Matthews, that is a symbol that he introduced me to on that course. And we all used it as a gateway to journey with, and we all journeyed to the realm of the She, and it was very, very interesting. And I think everybody in that room who was artistically inclined was told to include it in their artwork.
Yes.
Yeah. And since I had been thinking of creating a tarot anyway at that point, then it just naturally seemed that it would be the right thing to do would be to use that symbol to create a bridge with the She, with the realm of the She, and bring this artwork that in itself would then be a gateway.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful tarot deck. I mean, there are a mixture of pictures here that are not from the tarot. This is from the tarot,
yes.
and some of them are, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful deck. The cards are big, which I think that it's good, because some tarots are so small. I'm like, why? Can I just have big cards, please? So you have this little book that tells you how to, you know, what is the significance of each of the cards, and it has the artist notes, which is very nice. You know, things that you say, you know, to complement to more than just the symbology of the card itself, and then you have suggested reading patterns that you can actually, you know, you can read and do, and it's a wonderful deck. This is the we're going to show a video where the most well-known Jamal Di Fiosa, right, is handling your whole, you know, tarots. And whoops, you have to, something just fall out. So this is
what they're calling it now.
I don't know. So this is,
I know that video had got out.
I know, the Fool. This is the Fool. And this is the size of the cards. It's fantastic. I just love it. And here is, see?
Yeah.
It's very nice. So should we, I don't know, and then just tell me a little bit more about the transparent tarot and the transparent oracles, so that we can, I'm going to just put the video on and we can talk about it as we go along. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Try and...
Go ahead. What? You were saying something?
No, go ahead, and then when the video comes up, I'm quite interested to see this. I'm slightly behind or something, aren't I?
Oh, okay. No, but that's fine. That's okay. But you can hear me, right? You can hear me.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So pay attention to this music, because the music is from somebody that I just found out. Let me just show you his website. His name is Ezekiel Honing. And his Honig, and it's very good. His music is, as he says in his biography, electronic acoustic music, and it's somehow very strange, because he here we are. Let me just show his face. This is Ezekiel, and his music will accompany this video that I just did for Emily, so that we can see her tarot de Shi and also the transparent tarot and oracle working. His music has an electronic beat to it, and then he uses very acoustic but very raw sounds to complement it. So it's very interesting. Here we go. Let me show you this. This is the best way. So here we go. So here Jamal is looking at this little book, right?
Yeah, and the book is, physically it's quite small, but you know, there's quite a lot in it. When I was working on the book, a lot of the writing in there is actually channeled as well. It's not standard card descriptions. What you have is the cards speak for themselves.
Yes.
So in the major arcana, each of those cards it's almost like an invocation that you can use. If you read it out loud, it's very powerful.
It's amazing.
So it's a different way of working with the cards. And the minor arcana each have a 4-line poem that you can use in combination with each other, so you can mix them all together to make a longer poem. If you're doing it, you can use that as part of your reading or whatever.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now we're seeing here Jamal is putting the cards down, and you can see the Chariot, you can see the Justice. So these are original. Do you like the music? Just checking.
Well, because I have the sound turned down.
Oh, you don't know. Okay.
I have to come back and listen to the music later. Okay. But I'm sure it's fabulous. All I can hear is you, I'm afraid.
That's
so you're
good. That's good. That's good. So this is, for instance, this is strength. We saw that before. This is the Hanged Man. It's just amazing. It's really beautiful. So he's going to just show some of them, not all of them, because it's a big deck. But it's beautiful. So were also I love Pan. I just love it. It's just so beautiful. Look at that card. It's beautiful. Amazing art. Now, were the art was also inspired? Not inspired, obviously. Channeled, do you think?
Yeah, somebody it's Indigo in the chat room saying it looks like it's traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck. It's not remotely Rider-Waite.
Yeah.
Not at all. When she's actually got the deck and she can look through it, she'll see that for herself. There's no Rider-Waite imagery in there, really. I suppose the Empress looks very Empressy, but other than that...
But that's about it, right?
Because what would happen is I was studying the symbolism, I was studying what each card was meant to mean. Before the point where I started creating the deck, I was actually just a very intuitive reader. Although I'd been reading for about 15 years, I still hadn't completely got all of the meanings of pat, like you do.
Yeah.
So it was a massive study period for me. So I would concentrate on what each card was meant to mean. They would send me an image back to contain that meaning.
Yes.
So it's certainly not based on Rider-Waite. In fact, more than anything, I was studying the Thoth at the time. So there's a real mixture of Thoth and our Rider-Waite meanings, but the symbolism that interprets those meanings is completely different in most cases.
What we're seeing now is the Transparent Tarot, which is fantastic.
That's more Rider-Waite based.
It's absolutely fantastic. I just zoomed in so that people can have an idea how it works. You just put see, Jamali's doing a great job, don't you think?
Absolutely, this is fantastic.
I know. Because people that are not seeing what we are seeing now, they're just listening to it. The Transparent Tarot, it's really transparent, and each card can be put on top of another card, and a little bit after you have a little stack of cards on top of each other, you will have this whole intricate imagery that symbolizes, and you can interpret the cards. It's just so amazing. Where did this idea come from? Because this is absolutely unique.
Thanks. Do you know, it was outrageous. It literally burst into my head in the middle of the night. It was like 3 in the morning, and it's just... I've only ever had something like that with shamanic things that I've done, where something has literally burst into my head and it's like a physical sensation that wakes me up, and that's what happened with this. I'd been oh look, he's used the publisher's logo as a card. That's quite sweet.
I know. No, he hesitated. Actually, he was like, oh, oops, this is not really a card. Oh, okay.
Still read that. You can read anything.
Yeah, I know.
So I sat bolt upright in bed at 3 in the morning going, Transparent Tarot. And you could put it like in layers, and and my husband told me to shut up and go back to sleep. But it was like this feverish idea that I was then compelled to try and render.
Yes.
And I didn't even know whether it would be possible.
Yes.
You've already seen my usual style, which is sort of crammed full of symbolism and very sort of ethereal, mystical. This was completely minimalist.
Yes.
And it had to be, in order for it to work. Anything more than what you see there would have been too much, and it would have been cluttered.
Absolutely.
A regular tarot card, by its very nature, is a composite image made up of many symbols together. The Transparent Tarot had to be one symbol to sum up the meaning of that card. So it was a fascinating exercise, and I didn't really know whether it would properly work until it was published and out there and people started using it. Because there's almost infinite, look, that's a bit of a null term, but billions and billions of combinations.
Yes.
Almost infinite amount of combination.
Yes, yeah. Now we're looking at the transparent oracle, which is a later thing. This is the last thing that you did, right? With concerning oracles and tarots. So this is the last one, and what you see here is that Jamal is putting. So it's the same thing, but one of the things that you say in the box is that you can actually do a combination of this with the transparent tarot. So especially designed to work alone or alongside the transparent tarot. So you can actually, and you will see in the video a little bit later that Jamal does that. He will put the cards also, and he will make a combination of the two. So this is why round?
Well, I didn't want to do the same thing twice, so that's to me is completely pointless. So always in my work, I don't want to do something that's already been done.
Yes.
Schiffer wanted another transparent deck, and I told them I can't just do that. The inspiration has to come in order for this to be something worth doing, and it has to be significantly different. And I went away and thought about it, and then a few hours later I started thinking about mandalas and how if I had circular cards,
yes,
you could also rotate them. So you've got the transparency, you've got that extra dimension, and then you've got this added fluidity of being able to rotate the cards to create different images. And then they're actually designed in a circular way to create a mandala type image, rather than a lot of circular decks that you get that is just a picture on a circular card.
Yes.
They're designed so that they can be rotated, so that there's not one particular way up. And it's a completely new idea. And it's surprising how well they do work with the tarot as well.
It's amazing.
Again, it's nothing I could have planned as well as it's worked out. I really do think I'm extremely lucky that I'm guided in what I do with it. I just trust it. I trust the process.
Yes.
And otherwise, this project, the Oracle, I designed the deck completely from scratch and wrote the book with help from David Rankin, who wrote the section on spreads. Bless him, and thank him forever for that, because I was having a wobbly at the time. And the whole thing in 6 months.
Oh wow, that's amazing, amazing, amazing. Hafia, now you can see here now that Jamal is putting the tarot on top. I don't know if this is the way it is intended to be.
Well, there's you just use the cards however you find works best for you. I mean, once the cards are in somebody's hands, they become that person's tool. But yes, this is precisely the way that I would do it if I was combining them. This looks great.
Yeah. I just, isn't that amazing that, you don't see it, but people that are just not just listening to us. We have the transparent oracle, which is round, transparent cards, with the transparent tarot, which is, the normal sized rectangular cards on top of each other. So we can actually use the two at the same time and combine them. So it's kind of like, I don't know how many dimensions this have, but it's not only just, the transparency, the rotation of the oracle, but also on top of that, you can have flipped or not the transparent tarot on top of the oracle. It's amazing, and this is the whole thing, as you can see here. And if you want to really have an idea, I really urge people to go into Ustream and see this, because it's really it explains to you how it's done and how it's used.
Yeah, they can go back and watch it later.
Yes, exactly, and people can just go ahead and see it. So I just love this new thing about the video, because you can just show people everything.
It's enormous fun.
I know. Now this is very beautifully done. I mean, I'm doing now a close-up for the cards and the tarot and the oracle. The cards, it's themselves, by the oracle cards and the transparent tarot cards, they are beautifully done. beautifully done. So wonderful, wonderful art, wonderful. I mean, the symbology is fantastic. It's beautiful, and people didn't really see this because I didn't show. But the transparent oracle comes in a very beautiful. Well, both of them come, but the transparent oracle comes in a very beautiful box. Was this your idea too? No. Maybe.
No, but Schiffer have incredibly high standards of production. So I get a little bit of input into the packaging, but personally, I think they do a fantastic job. I would like things to be a bit more affordable, which is why, one of the reasons why the book for Tarot of the She is so short. It's sort of small and compact, and the writing is tiny, so I could cram in as much as I could.
Yeah.
It's in a smaller box, so it's just literally the deck and the book in the box, but that makes it more affordable for people, so that the people who feel called to use it will be able to afford it, because that's more important to me. I really don't, because most of the sales at Schiffer are through Amazon, I think, probably anyway. They don't have great distribution.
Yeah.
I don't make much money on any of them.
Which is a pity. Because you should, because it's fantastic and it's wonderful and unique.
I'm lucky I have a husband with a proper job, so
oh, that's good. That's good.
I don't have to worry about it. So I would prefer people to be able to afford the decks that they feel called to work with. That's more important to me.
So I'm now showing the box that the oracle comes in. It's so beautiful because you can just open it, and it has this fantastic, you know, the tarot. I'm sorry?
It has a magnetic lid.
Yes, it has. And so this is the book. It has little things that hold the lid in place. And this is the tarot, the oracle. I'm sorry, the transparent oracle. And it's fantastic because it closes, and if you're not careful, it can actually, you know, get your fingers into it. No, I'm kidding. But it's really, it's really a fantastic, and it has a little thing that you can pull. It's so cool. Look, it's fantastic. You can just, I did it actually a lot of times. I have these weird things that I do. Oh, when I see a cool thing, I go like, it's kind of like sick. But
it has box and closes.
Ooh, magnetic box.
Ooh, magnetic.
It doesn't matter about the oracle, it's the magnetic box.
No, but the box is way cool.
Oh, yes. Oh, let me show the book. The book is fantastic, actually. Because it shows, first of all, it has pictures in it. It's fantastic, and it's really, and the designs of each card are here, and they have, you know, they're all described and what it is. It's so amazing, and then each individual one is described also, so it's fantastic, and it goes by chapters. It's very, very good. It's very cool. Very well done. Very high quality. So I really urged everybody, really, if you want something special. Oh, and let me just tell you this. It comes with a little cloth. Both of them. So both of them comes with a little cloth. I feel like an infomercial now.
But you're a wonderful infomercial.
I know.
Next for you.
I know. This is the cloth that comes with it right here. This is the book that you know, explains everything, and this is the tarot, transparent tarot. So this is the box. It's very, very cool. And on the back you have also this wonderful descriptions and also pictures and everything. So it's very, very cool. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful quality. I never thought about, you know, that people could actually, you know, I mean, this is a genius work. Let me just say that, because it's truly an inspiration. This is what inspiration means. It's that, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and transparent tarot, you know. So this is what it is. This is what it is. This is the box that comes with the Tarot of the She, and it's fantastic. The picture is wonderful. It's a fantastic picture of one of the cards, actually. It says Tarot of the She, and then you have the little book that comes with it, and and the tarot itself?
I have the sun card on the outside of the box and the moon card on the book. So you have the sun on
Yes.
the exterior and
The
the moon
sun
is
and the
like
moon. Yes.
just on. I don't know whether anybody gets that, but I knew it was going on.
Of course, everything has,
Makes me
you know,
happy.
has a meaning. So this is the meaning of it. Sun and moon. Here we are. So amazing, amazing, amazing. What is Indigo is trying to say something to me on Skype? I don't know. It's
Chat room, people are talking about what's the best way to shuffle the decks.
that's one of the questions.
Transparent
Yes.
Oracle they're talking about because they're quite large cards.
Yes, they are.
They are slippery. I shuffle them normally. I do end up sometimes dropping some, but this is part of the process. I shuffle normally whilst not looking at them, and then I tend to cut the pack randomly, the same method as I use for the transparent tarot. So I cut randomly to pick my cards without looking. But what you can do, and what I've noticed some other people saying is that they also do, if you have a large reading cloth or a tablecloth on your surface so that the cards don't get scratched, just lay them all out on your surface and, you know, swish them about, and then put them all back together again, pick your cards randomly without looking. And that's if you've got cards that are too big for you to comfortably shuffle, that's the best way of doing it. Make sure you do it on a cloth rather than a harsh surface, and that way the cards won't get scratched.
Exactly. That's why it comes with a cloth, people. So that you can't scratch the, you know, Emily's very thoughtful. So was this also, I mean, all of the packaging, I want to know everything. All of the packaging, all of the things, were you involved in this decisions and how we are going to do the packaging and how we're going to put this together? Or was just, you know, something that you were not really consulted in?
Well, transparent tarot, I had the idea of using a transparent lid. I didn't expect it to be the sort of the flimsy thing that you have on the final thing, but the packaging for that was mostly my input. So the idea that the cover would be some overlay, some sort of chaotically overlaid cards, and that the lid would be transparent and there would be a cloth in there. That was my idea, because you know, people would look at them and go, but I can't see the picture because I pattern on my tablecloth. It's like, you have to have a white cloth. It's just, you have to.
Exactly.
So they did that, which was fantastic. So that was my first project with Schiffer. The transparent oracle, they put a cloth in. Again, that was sort of my input, but I had very little input on the actual packaging for the transparent oracle. I just sort of left that with them, and I didn't actually see the cover design or anything until it was done. So it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it was a surprise to you too, right?
I may have grumbled slightly about that process, because by the time we got to Tarot of the She, they came up with a cover again without consulting me, which I then saw and went, no. They did something they did ask me which card I wanted to put on, but they did something a bit strange with it. But then, I mean, absolute kudos to them. I was ranting and raving the way that I do in my arty way.
Yes.
They just did it. They just sorted it. I said, you can't do that. You have to do this. And they went, oh, okay, we'll just change it. I was like, right, you do that. You know,
now.
It stole my... They're like, it's fine, so I would change it. I was like, okay, thank you.
No, it's very good, and it has the John Matthews, you know, little introduction on the back, so you can actually see it, and it's fantastic. Fantastic. So we can purchase this where?
Well, you can, gosh, all over the place online. If you've got a favourite store that you use online, they will probably have it. If you have a favourite local bookstore, you can just get the ISBN number and order it from there. That's like the noblest thing to do, but also probably the most inconvenient, because you'll probably end up having to wait for it. If you need it now, you can get it on Amazon. You can also order directly from the publisher, which is schifferbooks.com.
Yes, and I'm going to show the website, schifferbooks.com. This is their website.
Please don't try to order it from me.
No, we don't want
do
that.
Running a business from home thing. I'm very, very disorganized. So please just order it online somewhere.
Yes, so that's very, very good. Now, I know that you're coming up with, is it a book that you're coming up with? Yes? This is the
that I'm working on at the moment. Yes, I am working on a book for Llewellyn called FAERY CRAFT, and they actually approached me about it, which was very flattering. I was very honoured to be approached to do this project for them, and it's a massive project, actually. I'm still trying to get my head around everything I have to include in it, because it's sort of a fairy lifestyle book in a way. So they want they want practices and exercises and suggestions and things about how to help connect with fairy folklore as well, but also about the modern fairy scenes, so festivals, fairy balls, dressing up, that whole side of it as well. A little bit about all the fairy artists that are on the scene at the moment, the fairy authors, the musicians. So it's like an all-over picture of how people celebrate and work with fairy now in the 21st century. So most of the practices and exercises, that's like some of my personal stuff that I do. It's not from any particular tradition, it's more what I've worked out for myself, what works.
Yes, yeah.
But then there will be little sections on the different groups of people who do purport to be working with fairy, and a little bit about how they express themselves. So it's huge, but it's going to be great fun. Packed full of photographs, lots of stuff about sacred sites, etiquette, which I think is so important.
Oh, it is. It is.
No.
Yeah.
Etiquette working with fairy is incredibly important. You really don't want to pee these guys off.
Oh, no.
I can feel the rants coming on. There's far too much of this attitude of, well, it's okay because they love you and they're always with you, and they won't hurt you if you do something that they don't like. Well, that's fine. I'm not doing that. I'm doing a lot of do's and don'ts. It's like, do this, you could do this, blah, blah. So to an extent, it's like, find what works for you. But there's also this strong element of, find what works for you, but don't do that.
Exactly. Now, it's very interesting because I love this photograph. We talked about this photograph in in the last show that we did in the now defunct Blog Talk Radio, Witchtalk Blog Talk Radio. But we moved to a new reincarnation, and we are now, I think, a little bit better, not only on sound but also in
glorious incarnation.
What?
With angles.
Yes. And so was this inspired by that famous photograph of those little girls with the fairies?
You mean? I think it probably was. It wasn't me that photoshopped it. I was living in Sussex at the time. I was looking for a photographer for my hand fasting, and there was this guy who has this photo shop in Hastings. I'm sure he's still there because he's incredibly successful, fantasy photography. So he did like my standard CV shot for he did my shot for the transparent tarot, I think it was. And then he was like, I've just got these new wings, will you try them on and we'll just do a fun fairy one? Because he does these photos for people. They come in and they do photo sessions and they dress up, and then he photoshops them to put real fairies in, or he does wizard magical effects or pyrotechnics and stuff. He's awesome. He's so clever. So I was like, yeah, I'll try your new wings on. And so these are his wings, and then he photoshopped in these fairies and fairy dust and everything. And it's great. It appeals to my
fantastic.
Side.
I just love it.
Got pointy ears on there too.
Who?
I think I have pointy ears as well.
Oh, you do. You do a little bit here. If you really, you do.
There's no need to. There seems to be almost like there's two sides. There's the side who are like terribly serious, and then, oh no, we couldn't possibly wear glitter and wings. That would be ridiculous, you silly people. And then there's a side who like wear glitter and wings and laugh at the serious bunch. There's no need to be one or the other. You can be serious about what you do. You can be authentic, and you can actually also have fun.
Of course,
it's to dress up and actually also be authentic and be doing real stuff.
Yeah, but people don't really, people don't really realize that. They don't really. Oh, I just I just have to be one or the other.
Very It's like Ghostbusters. I'm crossing the streams.
Exactly, exactly. Don't cross the streams. Yeah. Now, one of the things that I want to show now is this fantastic series of photographs that you have of your dog, which is amazing. It could be, you know, this could be postcards. This could be a tarot.
Well, Carrigan, it's actually, I got an email from Schiffer. I actually just read the email yesterday. It is actually an oracle deck. It's going to be an oracle deck.
See? It's amazing! For the first time.
Chance to do something really lightweight and comedy, so I'm going to do well, Albus will be writing it. You see, Albus Dumbledog, my dog, he will be writing it. I will obviously have to translate and do the typing for him. So it's going to be an opportunity to be comedic finally and use some of my humour and silliness and just do a fun project. But if you look at the cards and you look at his beautiful expressive face, it's totally valid as an oracle deck. It's actually readable. It actually does have messages.
Absolutely. No, it does. So this one is adventure. This is waiting. It's so beautiful. It's really beautiful. This is sorry. He's so cute. He's so cute.
He's gorgeous. He's my gorgeous boy. Every one of my friends is in love with my dog.
Of course.
I do sometimes wonder whether they're just friends with me because of Albus, but that's fine. I can deal with that.
Lip. This is amazing. Who took these photographs? Because I want to know.
Oh, I took all of the photographs. They're all pictures that I love photography. I studied A-level photography a little, which is like when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't end up taking the exam in the end for various reasons, but it's, as a visual person, it's something I really enjoy. And so when I first started messing around with it, it was just a silly idea that I had. Wouldn't it be funny if Albus did an oracle deck? And so I went through the photos that I already had and found ones that I thought had messages in them, and I made up the first few. And then people were going crazy about it on Facebook. Everybody's like, oh my God, is this a deck? I want this deck. I have to have it. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And then, so I wrote a list of different doggy wisdom things I could think of and started like trying to get Albus to pose and do things. As it happens, what works best is if I just happen to have my camera with me, let him do his thing, I take loads of pictures, and then I'll pick out the ones that are the best, that seem to have some sort of meaning.
Absolutely. Now, crossing, this is one of the... I love the innocence one. I don't know if we can get back to that, but it's so cute. How old was he here?
Oh gosh, he was weeks old, a tiny puppy.
Oh, he's so cute. Now the crossing is wonderful. Rest is fantastic.
Thank you. They're all taken around here, around my home and around the countryside here in Cornwall. So it's incredibly picturesque. I'm very, very lucky to have such amazing scenery. I mean, there's the alpha one that you've just shown there. That was taken just up here on the moors, on Bodmin Moor. That's an ancient Bronze Age burial chamber that he's standing on top of.
So cute. It's just amazing, Alpha. I'm sure that this will be a success. Do
you know that there aren't really any dog decks, certainly not any that have been done well. There must be about 50 million cat decks, because people think of cats as being mystical. Of course, they are amazingly mystical, magical creatures.
Yeah.
The dogs have their own particular kind of wisdom, which is that they are incredibly in the moment. Yeah. And in that sense, they have so much to teach us in that way, about how to just be and how to get the most out of life. Yes. And how to be present in the moment and how to love. They're such loving creatures and trusting.
It's amazing.
So this is like the dog's journey as opposed to the hero's journey, but it's the same dog, Albus, all the way through the deck, and it's like his journey, like his hero's journey, and all these different things that he goes through and expresses. And I hope that it's something that people will like and enjoy, and for me it's going to be a lot of fun to work on.
It's amazing, and he's such a beautiful dog. I mean, it really is. Splash, it's so cute. Fetch, this is so amazing. He looks like, he could be a model dog. You know, like a photography model dog. You know, those dogs that, you know, on advertising of, I don't know, dog food or whatever. It's just amazing how cute. What happened here? I want to know this one. Dog jail. What happened here?
Oh, poor Albus. Do you know that was a post one, and I thought, right, one of these cards needs to be like, oh no, I've done something terribly naughty and I'm being punished. So he has a crate that he sleeps in. We never close him in it, not since he was a little puppy, but he has like this security thing of he likes to just sleep in it.
Yeah.
So we don't shut him in it, he just goes into it. So I got him to go into the crate just for a minute so I could take the picture, and I shut the door on him, and he was giving me this look like, what have I done? I love you. Why have you shot me away? But his face is just like perfect. So I promise that no Dumbledogs were harmed in the making of this oracle deck. He was only in there for a minute.
Oh, he's so cute, so cute, so cute.
He's very cute.
Journey. This is another one, which is very.
I think Indigo was just asking when this deck was going to be published. It's due out in fall 2012.
Yes, yeah. Magic. I love this picture with. Yeah.
Yeah, I took Willow out all dressed up like a little pink fairy, just because she was looking gorgeous, and we went down to the river, and I took a lot of pictures of her, and then I thought, I wonder if I can get one with Albus in and use it. Use it in this deck, and I really love that one too.
It's fantastic. Oops, I got something in the middle. So let's look at Vision. I love this one. Vision is fantastic. It's just fantastic. I wonder where. I'm kind of like, where is she taking this photograph? I'm just imagining you like crawling, you know.
It's up on the moors. It's on a very high point on the moors here, on what's called 12 Men's Moor, which is part of Bodmin Moor. It's Bronze Age, but there's what we call tors and ridges and things, and this is very, very, very high point up on a ridge, and there's all like these rocks that have been there since the land was formed. Basically, it's all volcanic and ice age stuff. I don't know. It's all fire and ice, all very Nordic. It's all these massive boulders and rock formations and things that we were climbing around on. So he is actually elevated and looking out over this amazing landscape, this completely beautiful, unspoilt Cornish landscape. Yeah, I'm pleased with that picture.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
It's one of the best ones, I think.
I think, yes. This is, I think, one of my favorites, yeah. Adventure, here we are again. It's just an amazing, I'm sure that it will be an amazing deck, because this is just fantastic photographs. And you know what? I think that you're very, very blessed, because you have so... and we are blessed because you're blessed, because then you just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you then share with everybody else. Let's just share this, you know, fantastic thing that I just did. And it's so amazing because, you know, I think that you are really when people think about inspiration and artists' inspiration and what is that about, and they have to wait for years and sometimes months and blah blah to get that inspiration going, and oh my god, I have a crisis of inspiration. You have them in waves, and each wave is better than the other. It's just amazing, you know, and then you share with everybody else, so you're very generous to us all. So it's very, very good.
Thank you. I do feel incredibly fortunate and incredibly blessed that I do feel like these things just come through me rather than from me. So in that sense, I can't really own them. And it's like I have a surplus of inspiration sometimes, which is almost exhausting. And gosh, touch wood that it never stops though, because isn't that great? I have too many ideas. I couldn't possibly do all of them, but
I know, it's wonderful.
Hopefully,
it's wonderful.
Hopefully I have a few years ahead of me in order to be able to bring you as many things as possible.
Oh, we want you to. We want you to. Now, another thing that I have to show people is this fantastic Emily Carding lifejournal.com. So it's emilycarding.lifejournal.com, and you're an author too. Well, you're going to be, you know, but you're participated in a lot of books. One of them was From a Drop of Water, and here you have your little contribution also part of, and then you have other things that you have contributed to, and you contributed a lot with Avalonia Books, and I know that because you know, they have a lot of your covers and all of that, and it's just amazing. Here we are with Her Sacred Fires. We will have a new edition of Sacred Fires, Her Sacred Fires, again in 2011, I guess, because that's what Sarita is going to do again, and we will love to have Sarita again in Witchtalk to just talk about this fantastic thing, but this is a way that people can get, you know, in touch with you, because, you know, and read what you do, right?
Do you know what? I'm really, really bad at keeping up with the blog. I probably ought to be better at it. I'm generally, and anybody, please feel free to send me a request on Facebook and just tell me, you know, how you heard about me or whatever, because I completely inundate my Facebook page with what I'm doing, where I am, what kind of tea I'm drinking, what I'm working on. There's always loads of photos on there as well.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'm working on, or just what I'm doing, or random people who are walking past my house. You know, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, then Facebook or Twitter. My blog, which I really will try and keep up with a bit better, but it's honestly, if you look at it, it was months ago since I last wrote anything on there.
Well, November 20. Yeah, a little bit. I was saying, no, November 29th in 2010, yeah.
Yeah, every time I do a new entry, I have the noblest of intentions to keep up with it on a regular basis. You know, I forget.
No, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I just love it. And so, if you want to be friends with Emily Carding and see what she's doing, here we are. Everything is in here on Facebook. You just type in Emily.
There's also a fan page on Facebook as well. I have like an artist page, and I have my regular page.
Emily Carding. Let me see, Carding, and let's see if we can find you. Oh, Emily Carding. So there is an Emily Carding, and then there's an Emily Carding page. Which is this one, right?
Just obviously me with blue hair. Then there's another one when I have black hair, painting the Hekate painting. That's my fan page, one where I'm painting.
That's fantastic.
And there's somebody else called Emily Carding, who weirdly is the wife of a friend of mine.
Really?
It's just weird. Who's in New Zealand.
Ooh, that's very weird. That's weird.
That's the only other Emily Carding that I know about. Isn't that odd?
That's very odd. Yeah. This is you painting.
There's me painting.
Very good.
I think Willow, my daughter Willow, took that photo. She's a very clever photographer herself, and she's only 8.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. And this is a whole... So you keep all of the... Where did you keep all of these things? I mean, you give them away? You know, all of your pictures and, you know, all of the things that you do for covers and all of that. So what do you do with that?
Oh, a lot of them are on my walls, and some of them are the commissions anyway, so people... you know, they get given to people or whatever. Or some of it's sat in folders. All of the Tower of the She at the moment is sat in a folder because one day I would like to do an exhibition. I've never exhibited because I'm always so busy doing something else for, you know, something for publishing. So one day I'll get around to doing an exhibition. But that gigantic Hekate painting that was done for Her Sacred Fires, that's up on my living room wall. And when Sarita came around, she was like, "Are you sure that's really the right place for it?" Because it sucks you in. It's like it's on the wall going wom wom wom. A man stepped through my portal. Fire, fire, fire! Unicorn, snake, rah. It's a bit of a focal point.
It's
It does sort of
wonderful.
come to me. But I like having it there, and
Of course, yeah,
people
yeah.
who know and can see, and those who don't, I don't think they even notice it. I think they're oblivious. So.
Oh, that's good. So, are you going to participate on this year's Her Sacred Fires?
I won't be able to come and join in any group things because I believe it falls on a Monday night or something. And I have Willow, and she's 8 and she has school, so there's like the parent thing.
Yeah.
I will be doing it here at home. I suppose if people are filming it, I might film it again because I filmed myself doing it last year. It's on YouTube somewhere. I have a YouTube channel, so you can see some stuff on there.
Ooh, let me just find out that. What is it called?
Oh, it's something straightforward like Emily Carding, I think.
Well, it's good. It's good. Let me see.
If you search for Emily Carding, you should probably find it.
Emily Carding. Yeah, I
So
think
you-
so. I think so. Oh, here we are. Amazing Emily Carding. As an alien? No. Sacred Fires,
Oh
yes.
God, yes! Don't show that.
It's a public video on YouTube. So here we are. This is the rites of the Sacred Fires, yeah, that we are seeing right now.
Yes, it goes on a while. I was terribly slow and ponderous and terribly serious.
Well, hundreds of devotees will join together in honoring to Hekate across the world, and this will happen actually this year also. This is your beautiful house. I love your house. I just love it. I really do.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful.
Also, I must mention also the Covenant of Hekate, which is something that Sarita Deste has founded, which is a wonderful sort of organisation for anybody who wants to be a part of pretty much a global group of people who are working with Hekate in a particular way, or people who want to find out more. I believe it's hecatecovenant.com or .org. You might be able to find that if you look. I should have written that down.
I think so. Covenant of Hekate, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Oh, Hekate, Covenant of Hekate. Here we are. That's it. So this is it. It's hecatecovenant.com.
Right.
And Hekate is with a K, so it's Hekate, Hekate, and then Covenant, COVENANT.com, and it's it's beautiful. I love this.
There is an application process that's described on the site. It's an application process that you go through if you wish to join, and then you'll be told whether you're accepted or not, but it's free. There's no cost. So it's just that little bit of effort that you have to do.
I wonder if somebody was refused. Like, wah, 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 you can't really join, sorry. For the inconvenience. I don't know. I always thought, no, but it's a very serious project. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, and this will be the place where you can actually, and this will be happening this year. This is where you have all the information, including who and how many members are doing this and how many people are joining and all of that. You also have articles in here, so you can actually see all the articles. The Goddess Hekate, Triple Goddess, the Dictionary of the Gods and the Goddess. So you have lots of links and things here of articles.
That's the thing that Sarita's doing, and it's a wonderful, wonderful resource.
Yes.
For people who are passionate about the Goddess Hekate. So
it's fantastic. It's a wonderful project. I love it. Are you part of the Covenant of Hekate?
Yes, I'm a torchbearer for the Covenant, which just means that I'm somebody that if you want to get in touch with me to learn more about it, you can do, or if you find that my approach, artistic fairy type person, and I'm somebody that you would find approachable, that you feel that you'd have something in common with, that you'd like to contact me about Covenant, you can do so. I can sort of help you out, and possibly in the future it means that I might try and form a local group of people working with Hekate in a particular way. So if you're in Cornwall, for instance, or Devon, say, then, you know, get in touch.
That's wonderful. So this is fantastic. COH, it's called. It's very interesting. It almost like it looks like an element, doesn't it? You know, CO2. This is COH. It's very interesting, and it's a wonderful, wonderful project with. I think a lot of people now joined the Covenant of Hekate.
It's ever growing, and also I want to add, it's not a hierarchical thing at all. It's, you know, everybody's equal in there. The torchbearer simply is more of a facilitator role.
Yeah, than anything
there's no
else. Yeah.
priestesses or high priestesses or any of that, which is fantastic. It's about wisdom and it's about learning. It's not about power or any of that nonsense.
Okay. So we are, you know, if you want to contact the Covenant of Hekate in Cornwall, right? You can just email the torchbearer, Emily Cotton, and she will, you know, guide you through, you know, whatever she can, in whatever way she can, to know a little bit more about the Covenant. Huh? What you were saying?
I'll do my best.
You do your best. Yes, you do. You do your best.
But because I know a lot of the other people who are involved, if I think that somebody else is better place to help someone, I can put them in touch and so on. So it's about being connected and being in touch.
Yeah. So, and to be a member of this, you have to register, right? To members area. You have to go through
the application process, which is, and whether it's still a postal thing. It was originally a postal thing, but all the details will be on there. You go through the application process. If you're accepted, then you can register on the website. I think there are some things on there that non-members can access, and then there are certain pages that are members only.
Yes. The Covenant of Hekate Members Forum is one of them. I mean, you have to have a password and a username in order to get in. It's just an amazing thing, and I'm sure I'm probably going to join the Her Sacred Fires this year. I don't know how it's going to be done, or, you know, I don't know what is this year's directory, but I think that we will. We did it last year. We were, I think, the only ones doing it in Salem, Massachusetts, in the United States, but I'm not sure. But I think that it was, and I uploaded also a video like you, so it was very interesting, and we will do it. So from a drop of water, tell me about all of these things that you are invited to go into, and all of these books. So you have from a drop of water, right? This is one of them. You also did the cover, I think, of Versus, right? That's another one. Right?
Yes. Yes, that's right. Yes. That was a really interesting thing to be involved in. I mean, all of the anthologies are fantastic, and I really recommend them to anybody who's interested in the subjects that they cover, because you get a really wide range of subjects within the subject, and a wide range of authors writing in their specialised ways. The cover was really interesting to work on, because I found that polarity is incredibly important in my work. It always has been. Before I was even aware of what I was doing symbolically, the sun and the moon were in there. I'd always do these weird paintings where the sun and the moon would both be in the sky at once, and all is light and dark. It's always been very important in my work, above and below as well. And so to be asked to do a cover for something which was essentially about polarity, the whole area, and I thought, this is great, because this is the chance to do an image which is purely expressing the concept of polarity and trying to encompass as much of it as possible, but without being confusing. But there's no, there's no mythological subject, there's no story behind it. It is just polarity. So there's a lot of Kabbalistic imagery in the way that it came out there, but also even just in the use of colour. I used the complementary or opposing colours to create like a flashing effect. So you've literally then got opposites coming together and creating an energetic reaction, which is completely what it's about. So yes, and I think that Sarita did a great job also designing with the black and white and the title there too. And it's a great. I haven't read all of the essays yet, and I keep because I got distracted by an Owen Wood by Cliff Serentine, which is a fantastic read. So I'm going back to those again. But the one that I have read are great. My favourite one so far is by my friend Sophie Nuzley, who's just like an amazing essay that she wrote, which is very it's harrowing but beautiful. And
which one? We have two Sophies in here, Sophia and Sophie. Yeah, Sinana and the Erishkigal. Yeah,
that's a beautiful piece of writing. She's very talented.
Yeah.
And there's some excellent essays in there.
We have the fantastic Katie Jarrett also.
In fact, yes, was she also writing on a similar subject? Oh, so she was writing on the Norse. Yeah, that was fantastic too.
Yeah. I love it. I really do.
Oh, and it was Vicky who was also writing about a similar subject to Sophie's, and their two essays work very nicely together. It's very interesting. A few people have covered similar areas, but in different ways, and so it's fascinating. Yeah. People really should, pick up a copy. It's a fantastic, substantial read. It's worth it.
You can find that on Amazonia, Amazonia. It's no. This is the new intake for Sarita. It's Amazon.com with Avalonia. It's Amazonia. So it's Avalonia Books, and you can find it in the website www.avaloniabooks.com or .co.uk, and you can just buy it there, right there, add to cart. So that's it, and I'm sure that and you can buy it from the United States too, and from all over the world. So it's a wonderful, wonderful book. But you did also. Let me see if I can see here catalog. Let me see if we can, because just by going into the catalog, we can just see. I think here we can just see a lot of books that you actually have done the covers from. Well, one of them is this one. Here we are. We have the Hekate, Her Sacred Fires, and you have one of your drawings and paintings here on the Hekate, Sacred Fires. By the way, it's a wonderful book, also by Avalonian Books. And we're always talking now about Avalonian Books because this is where you worked the most, right? Did you work with anybody else other than Avalonia on books covers and things like that?
No, not really. No, it's just one of those wonderful things that sort of happened, on those fantastic synchronicities. Was very meant to be. I was exhibiting, just like on a stall at an event in Brighton, I think it was, of all places, and David Rankin and Sarita Este were there. I didn't meet Sarita, but David was doing a talk, and I had my stall, but I did have a friend of mine. I didn't get to see any of the talk. I was like, this guy David Rankin, right, I'm sure I've heard of him. I just really do want to go and see his talk. Because I thought he was supposed to be doing a talk on Egyptian things. It ended up being on the grimoires, which is also a very fascinating subject. And I was completely rapt and fascinated by this talk. And then I completely harassed him with questions afterwards. And then it was like, after that, Facebook was, I sort of found him on Facebook, and then I said, oh, this is me, I do this. And then he showed Sarita my artwork, and then I got in touch with Sarita because I saw that Sarita ran Avalonia, and I said, I do paintings, can you use them? It seems like such a long time ago. I think, historically speaking, it wasn't a few years ago now. Yeah. And so the first one that they used my art for was the cover of Towards a Wiccan Circle.
Yes.
My painting of Blood Eyeworth.
Yes.
And since then, we've become firm friends, and I've done, a few things. Oh, Gods of the Vikings as well.
Yeah, that's another one. This is the Towards the Wiccan Circle, and this is your first one. Yes.
Gods of the Vikings was a project that I did with an author called Marion Pierce.
Yes.
I did all the illustrations for that book, and that was back in 2008, and then Marion sent it to Sarita, and they sort of edited it and put it all together and stuff, and so finally it's out there and published. That, I think, came out not that long ago, so that was great. It was lovely seeing that finally out in the flesh.
Yeah.
So that's packed full of my work. It's packed full of illustrations. It's not just the cover, it's the whole, so like the Norse gods and myths illustrated.
Mm-hmm. I really urge people to, those who are just listening to us, to really get into at some point to YouTube, because this interview with Emily is an artist, and she's a you know, she paints and she does all of this fantastic artwork. You really have to see it in order to appreciate it, because, you know, so go to Witchtalk Show on YouTube, on Ustream. Wow. And blah, blah, blah. And you know, see it, because you have to see it to believe it. That was tacky. Okay, so it's really true, because, you know, so we are talking about art and about, you know, pictures and about, you know, paintings, and if people don't really see it, it's really kind of like, you know, they only have half of the fun.
Yeah.
What else did we do? What else did you do? I'm trying to kind of like, you know, find your things.
Both Sides of Heaven is probably my favourite cover that I've done for Avalonia. I think it's
oh.
Sarita's favourite that I've done for them.
It's so beautiful. Here we are. Both
It's also my favourite essays that I've written, I think, as well, because that was it was about fairies as fallen angels. It was about the going back and looking at ancient Irish mythology that pertains to fallen angels and the Sidhe. And the cover was an image that I think I was sat at their house. Anyway, they were talking about how they were doing this thing, and then I had this image come to me, and I was like, oh, please, 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 please ask me to do the cover, because this image, again, was just in my head. And I knew I'd have to paint it anyway, but I knew that it was for this. And it's called The Fall. And it's my interpretation of Lucifer, or an interpretation of Lucifer, but it also has lots of different things in there that people who know stuff will recognise in it. And there's also things in there that probably I don't even know are there, because that happens with my work sometimes. But yeah, that's probably one of my favourite pieces that I've done. I did it very, very quickly. I think I did it over a couple of days because of the way that it had to be done for the project. And so there's a lot of raw energy in it.
It's very beautiful. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I just love it. And you wrote also The Salvation of the Sidhe, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. Well, this book is amazing also. Okay, let's just say that, as all the books of Avalonia, they're fantastic.
Yeah. It's so refreshing to find a publisher doing decent stuff that's useful, well written, well produced, and interesting, and intelligent, and not patronising.
Yes,
they're just great. Yeah, they're fantastic.
It's wonderful, wonderful. What else did you do in here? You didn't do both sides. What else?
I did not do the cover for From a Drop of Water. That was done by another artist called Nina. Ooh, I forgot, a beautiful lady. I've forgotten her surname. But she did the cover for that one. But I did do an essay in that, which was all about Merlin and Nimue. It was about the Lady of the Lake, and Nimue being the female. In fact, it's almost about polarity, but it's about Nimue being the lost female polarity of magic, as Merlin is the male.
Yes.
Archetype.
Yeah.
And it goes everywhere, from Monty Python to Lucifer, and it goes all over the shop. But it's
I know. You have Nimue, the archetypal priestess by Emily Carding, and then above you is magical operations like the water of the life and turning water into blood by Master Nestor.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's a good piece. It's quite a book, actually, and it's not been really noticed. It's been much neglected, and I would urge people to read it, because it's fascinating. Water is, I suppose, it's quite a wide area to write about, as water as the element and the magical uses, or symbolism, or everything to do with water. But I found it a very interesting read, but then I always have been a bit of a watery tart.
I know, but it's what, well, the subtitle is a collection of magical reflections on the nature, creatures, uses, and symbolism of water. And you know, water gets into every magic in every, I would think,
There's some very interesting essays in there. So yeah, so there's From a Drop of Water, Both Sides of Heaven, Verses, the cover for Wicca thingy, Towards a Wiccan Circle, the Hekate.
The Hekate, yes.
Yeah, is that it? I think that might be. I also wrote an essay in the Hekate book. Also, actually, in Hekate, Her Sacred Fires, there is a lot of my internal illustrations in there too.
Oh yes, there are. Yes.
So, the other artists whose work is on the cover, they're all fantastic, and there's lots of really amazing artwork in there by other artists.
Well, people
really get your money's worth.
It's wonderful because then the other thing is that this is a paperback, but it's an A4 size paperback.
Doing a sales advert. It's one enormous plug. Buy all of the Avalonia books. They're all brilliant.
They really are. I'm sorry.
Preferably.
We have to say it. We have to say it. So this is an amazing journey for you. I mean, you do your arts, you have them published. You're fantastic.
It's been amazing because before 2008, nobody had heard of me. I struggled to get my first thing published. It was just a stroke of fate or whatever it was that I got the Transparent Tarot published, and it's been non-stop. Since it's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm loving it. But it's because it's been so fast. And different things keep coming, and now people approach, like Llewellyn asking me to do a book. I keep looking at myself and going, I'm a proper author.
When you have the Llewellyn thing, no, you were a proper author. Oh well, you will have your own book. That's what you mean, right?
But it's still dawning on me that I have stuff and it's published, and the books that go with my decks are not insubstantial. I mean, especially the book, The Transparent Tarot. I've got it here in front of me. It's like it's a big, proper book, but I do still look at them and I go, wow, did I do that? If I see them in shops, I still get terribly giddy and excited.
I know.
I think I probably always will, though. I think it's important to keep that childlike quality.
That's very. And we need that. We need those. Those books. We need books that are interesting, good quality, incredibly well written, very, very well researched, and we do need that. And I'm sorry to say, but Avalonia Books, it's one of a kind. It really is.
Yeah.
So, sorry guys, but I have to say it. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
And I do feel very honoured and privileged that I've been involved in their books as much as I have. And it's great to have access to the other books that they've done as well. I particularly like the practical magic ones, the series of practical magic ones that they've done.
Yes.
Which are great.
It's wonderful.
Very, very accessible and very, very knowledgeable.
Now, future things. What do you have? Other than the book, we know the book is wonderful. But what other things are you cooking?
Oh gosh, right. Well, literally my world is working on FAERY CRAFT. I have an August deadline on that, so I'm completely immersed in that, and like an obsessive creature, will be working feverishly on that for the next few months. After that, I'll be working with Albus, of course, collaborating on the Doggy Oracle, which it will be called something like The Humble Wisdom of the Household Dog, or something like that, something suitably amusing. And then so that will be my second half of the year. I'll be working on that, but I'm also working on another sort of light-hearted deck, but one that will involve probably quite a lot more physical work, which is another tarot, and that's the Neverland Tarot. and that's based on the work of J.M. Barrie.
Oh.
Again, unconventional symbolism, but based on traditional meanings. So it's all the characters from Peter Pan and Wendy, and some of the other Neverland books. So your major arcana are scenes and characters from the book that are known, and then the minor arcana, instead of being the traditional pentacles, wands, cups, and swords, it's going to be mermaids for water instead of cups.
Yeah.
And then it will be fairies for air instead of swords. It will be pirates instead of wands for fire, and it will be natives for earth. So those are the sort of characters that you would meet in Neverland.
It's wonderful.
In scenes that convey the meanings. That has been at the back of my mind for years now, but other projects keep coming up. And another idea that I have sort of bubbling away, in fact, we were talking about Avalonia, was inspired by their practical Kabbalah magic, because as I was reading that book, literally as I was reading it, pictures would come to me. And so an idea that I have at some point, whenever the time presents itself, is I will paint a series of paintings based on those exercises, and that hopefully those can then be hopefully collaborating with somebody who knows their Kabbalah better than I do, then present those as a gateway themselves into the Kabbalah for people to use in meditation and so on, with exercises inspired by the paintings.
That's fantastic. Oh yeah.
So that'd be a quite interesting process, and I think for people who struggle to understand the Kabbalah, who maybe who find the wordy stuff not very helpful, to use image as a gateway, I think would be of enormous benefit to them. Then the other kind of person who is wordy but not visual, it gives them a visual aid to the visualization. So it's win-win, I think.
I think it's wonderful. I really do. I'm just doing this, this wonderful thing. We have the tarot also here, but I want to talk about the Tarot of the Black Mountain.
Oh gosh, yes, that's coming up.
I know. I was like, she's not talking about it. So here we are with the Tarot of the Black Mountain.
It just goes to show how much stuff I've got going on that I've almost forgotten to mention this, and it's some of my best work actually.
I know.
Okay, this was originally a commissioned work from a lady called Lena Ruth Stefanovic in Montenegro. She was writing, this was around the time I was working on the Transparent Tarot. She was writing a book of short stories, or in Serbo-Croat or something, Serbia. And she wanted a majors only tarot to go with it that had no copyright attachment, that was original. And she was paying, so I was like, cool. She knew that she was going to get published, and that was extremely appealing. So I was like, yeah, okay, I think I can squeeze that in. Gosh, I was busy. I was really, really busy on that. And so she said, well, you can do whatever you want. That's fantastic. And I was like, well, how about I do a tarot actually based on Montenegro? Since this is to accompany short stories about Montenegro, let's make the major arcana tarot about the country of Montenegro, which is southeastern Europe. And so I did a lot of research, and gosh, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So these cards are inspired by the landscape of Montenegro, the historical people, important historical figures, the architecture even, the myths, the religions. I mean, you have paganism, Islam and Christianity in there. It's all in there together, because that's a reflection of that society. Yeah. And that was published in Montenegro, very difficult to get hold of, with the cards as a pull-out thing at the back. But now it's going to be published with proper cards by Tarot Media Company, who are quite new on the scene, but they're doing some really cool and interesting niche stuff. With a short, like, accompanying book. It's quite more of a booklet that I've done to go with it. Lena Ruth has also translated a couple of her short stories to include in there as well. And gosh, I can't believe I didn't mention it.
I know. I was like, why is she not talking about this? But now we're, for people that, again, they're only hearing us, and Emily just described to you what the images are, but I do really believe that the best way to really have an idea is to go to Witchtalk show on Ustream and see it, because it's so amazing, and it's all here on image, so you can actually see the video and see this fantastic work that Emily's working on. Yeah, but you have other stuff in here that it's fantastic. You have the transparent tarot. Let me just give a little bit of just a little bit of a sneak peek on the transparent oracle, so that people have an idea of the fantastic work of this. And this is all obviously transparent, but it's so beautiful to see it on the cards themselves, and when you put them and superimpose them, it's almost like
that's 3 cards layered together.
Yeah.
The images that you've got on there, that's showing some of the layering. Yeah, the one with the planets, that gives you an idea of the scope of this, because it really it brings everything together. It was with the tarot, I was almost restricted by traditional tarot structure. But with the oracle, I could do my own thing, but many oracle decks don't have a structure. This really does have a structure. It's based around the 7 directions, and so you have everything from shamanic animal guides to the planets, to landscapes, weather conditions. It's all in there. It is as much as possible of the stuff that's in my head. I got down on those.
But this technique is amazing. The technique that you used to actually illustrate this. It's pointillism, isn't it? It's the little dots that you did. Everything is done by dots. It's amazing. It's an amazing, intricate, work, and very, very precise.
That is because I didn't want complete lines and strong lines that would clash. If it's all dots or layering, then the dots intermingle. And so they really are truly creating a new image, as opposed to as clashing and crossing lines and things like that. Absolutely.
It's wonderful. Let's just see a little bit of the transparent tarot. You have 6 of them here. And people can actually have an idea on how this works also. Here we are. We have a lot of cards here. This is also layers of cards on together. And it's fantastic. And as you can see, it's also done by dots. This is a couple of cards also together, so it's a layering is showing here.
It was an interesting thing, because this is something that I used to do when I was a kid. There was some things that I used to do when I was doing drawings when I was like a teenager. I would do this thing with like little tiny dots and felt tip pens, and it didn't for years and years and years and years and many years. And when I had the transparent idea, I thought, yeah, do you know what's going to really work with this is that thing I used to do when I was 16. Felt tip pens and the dots, and I'm so glad I did. So it's funny going back to that. It was like my distinctive thing when I was a kid, going back to it.
It's fantastic. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful. Let me see if I can show. This is the tarot of the She, and it's fantastic, because I think we have not all the cards in here, but almost all of the cards in here, right?
There are 2 cards missing.
Yes.
Because when it came time for the deck to be, or I knew it was going to be published, I looked back over them, and there was 2 that always bugged me, because of the way that I actually painted them was because it was channeled, and it really was. I know it sounds hokey, but it actually was. I drew them straight on paper with pen. There was no sketching or anything, or even with pencil that could be rubbed out. It was straight on paper with pen, and then painted in watercolour. There was a couple that just had proportionate things that really were just going to bug me because I'd started it too low down on the page or something like that. And so the same techniques, I redid them. The new cards are completely different from what the original ones were, but they are better. But I didn't put the complete deck now on my site intentionally because I took those 2 cards out, and then I thought, well, if I have the complete deck on there, people are going to pirate it, which has happened. Because
really?
I'm very open about sharing things. I have had Tarot of the She pirated before it was published. So I now have just a couple of cards missing. That way they can't do that. So.
Oh my God, really? Tell me about that. How did it happen? Where did you find it?
I don't mind people having access to the images, but I do mind if people are going around with copies of it poorly printed because they've got low resolution images and looks all blurry, and that's what people think my work is. I just heard about somebody using it, and I think it was in Ireland. They were using it, the complete deck. Somebody said, "Oh, somebody was using your She deck," and I said, "Was it the complete?" Because there was a Major's Only one brought out a long time ago before this, by Adam McLean up in Glasgow. But no, they were using the complete deck, and it hadn't been published. So they clearly swiped it off the website and printed off their own copy. And people do that, and they don't realise that it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
If it's on the internet, people don't realise that if you print things off, you're basically stealing. They don't get it.
Yeah. There are rules for this, people.
It was probably quite innocent, but yes. So to avoid that in future.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful, and it's, as you can see, it's fantastic. It's really, really beautiful art, beautiful imagery, and it was channeled, which is something that it's somehow rare. Some people, I know some authors that really do channel. I didn't know there's a lot of artists who do channel, because art by itself, when I'm talking about paintings and stuff, it's prone to that. I mean, it really is. You can't really, it's images, so you can't actually channel it. And it's amazing, but not a lot of people are doing that. So I must say that this is very unique.
It's not very commercial.
No, it's not. No.
And it was a struggle to get this deck published. It really was. And despite the fact that everybody I showed it to, apart from publishers, was very, very keen to see it and use it because they sensed the power in it, and they found it very appealing. Yeah. But it's not pretty commercial and polished artwork. It's simply, by its very name, it's raw. And because it's raw, it's a very powerful gateway, because it hasn't got all the human filtering. Well, it's obviously got some human filtering, but because it's not just squidgy energy, I mean, you can't do it. You can't directly put what any, fairy or any energetic or spiritual, but you can't directly put that onto paper. You can't fix it because it's fluid and it's ever changing and it's not fixed energy. But I did my best to create a gateway to that energy through my work, but it's not pretty, and it's not using models or anything like that. It's straight from the heart or from the Otherworld.
Yes.
But because of that, it gives you more of a raw idea and a raw access to that realm, as opposed to having to make your way through the prettiness that you get in some things.
In other things, yeah.
It was an act of service and dedication to them, to the people of the She, and it's an act of service to the people of Earth. I've got sounding like really weird now. It's an act of service to people who want to work with the She as well, because it's a two-way thing.
Yes, yeah.
That makes sense. I sound like a complete fruitcake now.
Now, other than the book that you're going to publish, that Llewellyn is going to publish for you, or that let's just rephrase that you are going to write for Llewellyn. That's a better way to do it. Is there anything in the future that I'm sure there is, but I'm just asking you if you have any idea if there is future works that involve the She.
In the future, probably.
Yes.
Because I don't see my work with them ever ending.
Yes.
So there will, of course, be inevitable manifestations of that. What I would like to do is more... What I would really like to do with that next is an exhibition, and perhaps reach more people. Large-scale paintings. You were on my Facebook artists page earlier. On that is a painting that I did quite recently. It's the most recent thing that I've done of a dryad, which is actually a being that I have met here by the river down here. And I would like to do more things like that. It's not necessarily part of a greater project or something, but paintings there in themselves are a gateway to exhibit those in a space. Maybe combined with some talks and things like that as an event. I think that would be interesting.
Which one are you talking about? Is this the one... I don't know if you're talking about this. I mean, you have a lot of photographs in here. But is this...
It's the artist's page as
Oh,
opposed
it's
to
the... Oh, okay.
the latest painting that was
Let me see.
posted up.
This is my page. Emily. You have, yeah, Emily.
No, that's my personal page.
Yes. So let me see. Here we go. The artist. This one, right?
The one where, you know, the page where I'm painting Hekate.
Not this one.
Yeah.
This one?
Remember, I'm slightly behind on the visuals.
I know.
That painting. That's the one.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'd like more of that. I think I've sort of, since the Tarot of the She, now that I'm in a very magical landscape, I think there's a new level of stuff that needs to unfold.
Yes,
so
yes.
An exhibition of paintings like that, and perhaps open up a different bunch of people to the awareness of the other world. That would be a really interesting thing for me.
Now tell me the story about this painting.
Well, I don't want to say too much about it because, as you know, impersonal magical work shouldn't really, certain things you don't discuss. It's basically, it is a being that I met here in the landscape, and I painted this painting as an act of connection with that being.
Oh, good. No, I just want you to tell me, you know, what you feel comfortable with.
So it's an authentic visionary experience.
Yes, yeah. And it's fantastic. I just love it. You have other photographs of other pieces of work. Again, the moon and the sun, beautiful image. This is actually the cover of the first cover that you did for Avalonia, right? I think, because
yes.
This is
yes.
yeah. It's very nice.
It was an already existing painting of mine that Sarita saw and said, actually, this is perfect for the cover of this.
Of this book, yeah. Well, I like the one that you have. I think this is Kali. Is this Kali? Maybe it is. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not.
Where are we? Yes, that's Kali. That's up on my wall just here, actually.
Oh, it says here, actually, Kali. Of course it is Kali. Oh, it is? Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a very early one. She's a goddess that came up very early on for me.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very interesting.
You know that sometimes people say to me, you know, I think it was the Morrigan. I have a T-shirt of the Morrigan, and people said, "Oh, you have a T-shirt of the Morrigan?" I said, "Yeah." And why are you asking? Oh, because, you know, the Morrigan. I said, no, I don't know. Can you just please explain what you're talking about? And they go like, oh, well, the Morrigan is not really a goddess that you wear on your T-shirt. Really? And that's why you're saying that. So it's kind of like people are afraid of goddesses that are connected with the dead, or goddesses that are connected with battle, or goddesses that are connected with blood or slaughter or whatever. For some reason, there's always this kind of fear.
There's well, there's 3 camps, I guess, but the 2 main camps, apart from the people who actually know what they're doing, there's either the people who are scared of it because they don't really understand it, or there's the people who completely reinterpret it to be all nice and la 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 and maiden mother crone or what. She's my mate or whatever. And make it all nicey and reinterpret it and have a terribly, just glamorous and beautiful and wearing pretty dresses, and it's all about clothes. So there's those 2 camps, and then there are the people who actually know anything.
Yes. No, it's amazing.
The minority. Yeah.
I don't really understand why. I think that it's kind of like the bleaching. There's the bleaching aspects of this whole thing. You know, people trying to bleach the gods, and or avoid them because they are afraid of them, basically. So they don't really embrace the diversity and all of the aspects that divinity, you know, portrays. But they select. It's kind of like, I just select what I really want to eat because I don't want to have an ingestion. You know what I mean? Because they think they can have an ingestion. I don't know. So good luck with that. And so, you know, instead of a multi-dimensional, you know, vision of divinity, they only have a little bit of maybe a bi-dimensional, and that's basically it. So there's so many layers, but you know.
Well, people limit themselves,
it's true,
and build walls, and they make themselves comfortable little boxes, and they dwell within that, and that's their life, and that's, you know, that's fine. But I think it's very interesting to pick away at that box, or in fact leap out of it as much as possible and see what's actually going on beneath all of that, which is difficult and challenging. And I'm not saying that I've got it, and that, you know, but I try and I chip away at it, and I'm very interested in what truth lies underneath the images, underneath the surface, underneath perceptions, underneath beliefs. I want to chip away and find what the pure energetic truth of things is.
Very well.
And
very good.
That's liberating to me.
Absolutely, because you're actually, you know, acquainted with, you know, a diversity of levels that are not. I mean, that's really actually, it shows on your art, actually. You know, the understanding and the touch of all the layers and levels that you know. Some people that's just pretty pictures and stuff, but they, you know, they're more than just pretty pictures. Your artwork is a little bit more than that. So, thank you so much, Emily, for being here on Witchtalk. I just love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Did you like it, this new edition kind of thing?
It's been great being able to watch things happening.
I know.
I wonder how it will have come across to people who were just listening. So they're just going to have to go back and watch it.
I think so. But, you know, at the same time, they do have this information. You know, there's a lot of people who actually were, you know, used to Witchtalk on Blog Talk Radio, and they just get it through iTunes. So I just wanted to provide them also with that. But, you know, now that we're on video, we're taking more advantage of image more and more and more. So, you know, as we did with your the handling of your tarots and also Oracle by Jamal. So it's
That was great. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that video. That was great watching that.
I know.
And of course, I didn't know what was going to happen, so I was like, ooh.
I know. You have to listen to it because, you know, it's unique. The music is fantastic. And as we were talking, there was this music going on, so it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very nice. Thank you very much again for being here.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody in the chat room as well.
Thank you.
Been trying to keep track of what people were saying. And
yes.
So thank you,
wonderful.
everybody.
It's wonderful. I don't even know. Okay. And Emily, please, could you make maybe silk screen those fantastic fab banners? Oh.
I have literally no idea how to do that, but
well,
I'm not
I know.
Artist, you see, I'm a self-taught artist, so all those clever things that real artists know how to do,
I know.
If somebody will show me how to do that, if that's possible, fine, I'll happily do that.
Well, it was a wonderful, wonderful show. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody on the chat room. I don't even know how many people we are. Oh, hey, 15 people here. And thank you so much for being here and to listen to us on Witchtalk. Emily, don't go anywhere because we will be with you in a minute, okay? Just don't hang up. Okay, I'm going to close the show and then I will talk to you a little bit. So that's it. Next week we'll be here again with another guest and also with a little bit more about witch reads and I'm sure fabulous and fantastic information for you. Until then, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.